AI meets human insight, the future of visual interpretation with Aira and Google DeepMind. Speakers, Jeffrey Peddle, CTO of Aira. Everett Bacon, Chief of Blindness Initiative, Aira. Alistair Muldahl, Senior Staff Research Scientist, Google DeepMind. Greg Wayne, Director in Research, Google DeepMind. And moderator, Troy Otilio, CEO of Aira.
Hello, I'm Troy Otilio, CEO of Aira, and I wanted to begin by recognizing SiteTech Global for its leadership in exploring how rapid advances in technology, especially AI, can drive future barrier-free access for people who are blind or have low vision. And special thanks to Vista Center for the Blind for producing this outstanding event and continuing to champion inclusion through innovation. So at Aira, we believe that access is a human right. And for nearly a decade, we've connected people who are blind or have low vision with professional human interpreters, trusted partners who turn visual information into independence. Today, that partnership between humans and technology is evolving once again through the power of artificial intelligence. This session, Human plus AI, Building Trusted Intelligence for Access, explores how people and AI together are reshaping a more inclusive and accessible world. I'm honored to be joined by an incredible panel representing both deep research, AI, and lived experience. So with that, I'll introduce Jeffrey Peddle, coming to us live from Toronto, our Chief Technology Officer at Aira, who leads the development of Aira's platform and its integration and design with advanced AI systems. Also from Aira, Everett Bacon. He's in Salt Lake City. He's our Chief of Blindness Initiatives. Everett brings more than 20 years, I think it's more than that, 20 years of leadership in the blindness community and ensures that everything we build starts with lived experience. From London, way over in the UK, we're honored to have Alistair Muldahl, Senior Research Scientist. Alistair's work focuses on visual reasoning, how AI interprets complex scenes and understands context, and from DeepMind, of course. Also, Gregory Wayne, also in London, also at DeepMind, is the Director of Research. Gregory leads the Project Astra research team building AI assistants. So what a panel. So together, this group represents what happens when human expertise, research, artificial intelligence, and community insight come together to make access stronger. So let's get started. Let's talk about how this collaboration begins and why it matters. I'm going to pick on Gregory. Gregory, obviously it started with you and I having a conversation, but I'm the moderator. So you're going to have to talk about how DeepMind and Aira came together around accessibility and AI.
So I think I've been thinking about AI assistants that are multimodal, that can understand the world around you for quite a while. And it always seemed to me that one of the most impactful things we could do as we were developing systems that could see and talk would be to enable people who are blind and low vision. It was a kind of a weird sort of coincidence, actually, that when we were trying to think about whom to partner with, I remembered that my upstairs neighbor actually had been the chief marketing officer at Aira at one point. So as I was trying to figure out how we could find a company to partner with, I ended up just knocking on her door and saying, "Hey, can you get me the number of that CEO over there?" And I called you up, and we had, I think, like maybe a 3-hour, 2-hour-long conversation in which we, I think, mutually developed an appreciation for each other and thought we would be an excellent fit. So yeah, it was something I felt that would be very important and a meaningful use of the skill set that I have and others at DeepMind, like Alistair, have, where we could make a contribution to the world. Really wanted to do that, and I felt like I had an in, more or less.
Awesome. I'll open up the group. Sometimes people want to know, like, how does this collaboration, this effort reflect in either your personal mission or your professional mission? We heard from Gregory, but I'd like to hear from the other panelists.
Sure, I can jump. Oh, sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead, Alistair.
Yeah, I can jump in. Yeah, I mean, like this is, the first project I've ever worked in, like in the accessibility space and in the visual impairment space. Um, it's just been such an amazing kind of experience learning from you guys, from the world experts, kind of in this area. And it's been, kind of certainly like the most meaningful and personally rewarding thing that I've ever worked on. So it's made a huge difference to me, and I hope that we can make a huge difference to you as well.
Yeah, I have to jump in and comment that many people who get into the accessibility space get stuck because it is a exciting place to learn and to contribute. I think I heard Everett. You want to go next?
Sure. I would say that, I talk to a lot of blind people. Blind people really love technology. We look to try to be leaders in the fields of technology, because technology makes a huge difference in our daily lives. It I would not say that it is the only part of my life that I, rely on, but it is definitely something that I think about all the time, and I'm really grateful that I have the ability to use technology. We all like to say in the blindness community that it is a marvelous time to be blind, because technology has done so many things to make our lives so much better, in a multitude of ways.
What about you, Jeffrey?
I'll just add that there's actually a third party in this collaboration that's played a really significant role, and that's the Aira Explorer community. Through the Build AI program, they shared their videos with Google DeepMind as a way of capturing how the Aira interpreters, sort of handle a call, how they speak to the community. And that's been a really essential part of this collaboration. We really wouldn't have a collaboration without them. So I'd like to thank the Aira community as well.
And I suppose the visual interpreters, right? Like they, in a way, they're memorialized, or they're the initial set of data that helps build this Astra. Okay, well, we've heard about why this partnership exists. Now let's show what it looks like in action. So we're going to show what you're about to see is the Aira Astra model. You're going to see the app. It's a context-aware, continuous system that understands scenes over time. We'll talk more about it, but I want to roll this video because it's a great way just to explain how it's different from what we've seen to date, which is kind of an image at a time use of AI to provide visual information. So let's watch this.
Hi, Kobena. What would you like to do today?
Hi, can you look and tell me what this thermostat is saying?
It's currently 4:24 p.m. and the temperature is set to 75 degrees.
All right, thank you very much.
Hey, can you tell me what this coffee pot is set to?
It is currently set to 12 ounces.
What about now?
It is now set to 28 ounces.
Okay. And what about now?
It's set to 37 ounces now.
Okay. And is it set to classic or iced?
The light is next to over ice.
Okay. Now is it on classic?
Yes, it is now set to classic.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hi, Justice. That is a T-Mobile authorized retailer store.
There are some tables with green umbrellas. What is this business?
That business is called Menchie's Frozen Yogurt, written on the green umbrellas.
What does this sign say?
That sign says consume your cellular and now open, with an offer for $20 off.
Well, I may need an agent because I need to find my dog's harness and leash.
I can help with that. Would you like me to scan the room?
Yes.
And I don't see the harness and leash right now. Could you pan the camera around a bit? Still don't see them. Can you try panning again, maybe towards the door? I apologize, but I'm not seeing the harness and leash in the frames. Could you try panning the camera again? I still don't see the harness and leash. Would
It
you
was
like
right
me to
there.
help you look in another part of the room?
Okay, that's what we're doing.
It's right in front of her, but the
I
AI
see a
is not seeing
harness
it.
and leash on the floor there now.
Okay, can you tell me where do I need to go?
You are already where the harness and leash are. They're on the floor in front of you.
Okay, just a second. Aha!
Take your time.
I think we got it.
The brands on these cans are Patriotic Seltzer, LaCroix, Athletic Brewing Company, and Dogfish Head.
Where is the Dogfish Head can?
The Dogfish Head can is the green can on the far right side of the top shelf in the door.
This one?
Yes, that's the Dogfish Head can.
Thank you. That's handy.
Yes, that is the side with the directions. I can see the microwave directions and the stovetop directions on the box.
Can I have the microwave directions, please?
Sure. For microwave directions, step 1, empty contents of pouch into an extra large microwave safe bowl. Step 2, pour cold water into measuring cup until it reaches the fill line. That's 2/3 of a cup. Stir water into bowl. Step 3, microwave on high for 90 seconds. Carefully remove hot bowl from microwave. Stir again to blend. Let cool to taste. Enjoy.
The update is still at 90%.
Great. You don't have to tell me if it's
The
still
update is still at 90.
you don't have to tell me if it's still the same percentage. Just let me know when the percentage changes, please.
Understood. The update is still at 90%.
So I have a couple prompts for the group. I'm going to share a few of them, and then the first one I'm just going to open up. But maybe for people seeing this the first time, what makes this model, this experience, what makes Astra different from the traditional AI vision? Actually, I'll just start with that prompt. I'd like to hear from perhaps Gregory on that first.
So actually, maybe I want to call back to something that Everett said, maybe to sort of frame it a little bit.
Sure.
One of the things that was so exciting to me when we first started talking was you sent me a list of technological innovations that enabled people who are blind and low vision, starting from like Braille and the white cane being included, screen readers, and then into the visual interpreter video call concept, and then AI. And I felt extremely exciting, and like it felt like we were participating in something that would be historically important, to be on this path of technological development, to be involved in this long story, and which will surely also succeed us, right? One of the things that I think we've done here is tried to build models that are based on what this previous, which is really the gold standard of a human visual interpreter experience. So based on these calls that have been donated through the Build AI program, we've been building AIs that are more like visual interpreters are as Aira, at the Aira standard. This means that our AIs don't just take in an image and caption it, for example, but they're able to actually experience the video feed in an ongoing sense, perceiving it, and even directing dialogue based on ongoing activity. We call that proactivity. So the visual interpreter is actually observing as it goes and can say things like, "Oh, can you flip that package around because I can't see the ingredients list?" Okay, now I can see it, and it doesn't have to be prompted by the user. It actually is able to do it on its own behalf. It is able to understand what's going on and talk. That's one of the kind of core anchors of the experience. I think Alistair can provide a lot more information about all the properties of the system and other things that we've worked on.
All right, Alistair.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, visual proactivity, I think is like a real kind of differentiator for this. It unlocks lots of use cases that were kind of not possible before. For example, being able to kind of scan around a room and have the agent kind of describe what it sees. As Greg said, giving kind of instructions to bring things into frame. We actually, by the way, this is kind of half the battle in many cases, right? Like, one of the things which surprised me from sort of working on this is just how much of the problem of seeing we kind of take for granted as sighted people. Just getting the relevant information into view is quite a challenge, and I think proactivity really helps with this. One of the other things you'll have noticed is the voice. So we've worked really hard to kind of give the agent a very kind of natural and kind of expressive voice. We wanted it to feel like talking to a person. It can kind of it can be interrupted by you, and the conversation can kind of flow naturally. I think you've also seen some examples of the fact that it can use tools. So, for example, it can control the flashlight on the user's phone. This is actually very useful because quite often, these calls can happen in low light situations. And as I said, like half the battle is even being able to kind of get the relevant visual information into the agent. And so, kind of ensuring that the scene is well lit is really important. And we also can integrate with like a lot of the other kind of Google tools and services, like you can use search and maps and so forth as well.
Yeah,
it's probably worth mentioning on this as well. I guess maybe I think we forgot that this is based on Gemini models from Google, which I think are really best in class for vision understanding from the start, and we're improving them with these new capabilities.
Everett, you use this. You're testing, and we'll talk a little bit about the trusted tester in a little bit. But just from a experience perspective, maybe comment on or tell us how it's different from, for example, Aira's Access AI, which you can take a picture and get a description, which was novel and still powerful, a year ago. But yeah, give us a sense, and maybe to other people, who are blind and use AI, like help us understand how this is different.
Sure. So, talking about image description, I'm holding a can of soup, and you don't know where the actual front of the label is. It's just a whole wrapped around label of a can, and there's nothing that is tactile that I can tell where the actual name of the soup is, and so if I take a picture of it with image description, I get exactly what's in the frame of the camera, and so with this model, it tells me to rotate the can, and that's pretty phenomenal, and that's one of the best use cases I can think of. There are lots of other things that it does. For instance, it knows where I'm at because of GPS capability. It has the ability to tell me that I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah, that it can tell what address I'm in. It does lots of other things, like if I'm walking down my neighborhood, it can tell me that there are low-hanging branches in my path. So those are all things that image description can't quite do. You have to kind of again take multitude of pictures to get that information. Where with the live AI model that we're using with Astra, it is giving me that real-time information as I need it, and it's processing all the time, and I'm having a real life experience with it, which is pretty phenomenal.
Awesome. Well, I think we're getting an idea. I know that we've built some oversight, and the visual interpreters are still involved even in the active use and development of this model. Jeffrey, how do visual interpreters integrate into this experience, and share how that looks behind the scenes and what it would be like for someone who's not yet tried it? How would that work?
Sure, Troy. So at the moment, Aira visual interpreters are observing every call in real time as it's happening. And there's two guiding principles for them. One is to ensure a first-rate experience for the end user on the call. And the second is to generate training data that we can feed back to Google DeepMind so that we can continually iterate together and make the model better over time. And so based on the first one about the experience, if there's a situation that's happening that's likely to cause the task not to complete, or if there's any sort of safety risk, then the human will jump in right away and take control and ensure the successful completion. If it's not that situation, if maybe the model's, made a mistake, but it's not critical to the completion of the task, or it looks like the model might be able to recover, the observer will provide commentary in an audio track, but kind of watch a little bit and see what happens. And a lot of times the model will recover working with the Explorer on its own, but if not, they will jump in eventually. And the end result of that is that the task completion rate for these calls is essentially the same as on a human-initiated call. I think they tend to be a little bit less efficient at the moment. They may take a little bit longer, but we end up with a completed call, which is great. A couple of the advanced capabilities actually make the observer's job more challenging. Occasionally, the model will launch into a different language, and sometimes the Explorer will respond. And so a conversation that started in English may transition to Spanish, which could be a problem. Or I was watching one call where the Explorer was asking for instructions on how to bake an apple pie. And it seemed that the model had looked that up on the web and was relaying information based on a web search rather than visual information on the call. And so it was challenging for the observer to validate whether it was right or not, though it sounded like pretty good advice for baking an apple pie.
Notice we're talking about food a lot, soup and pies. Those are important tasks.
It's almost
right?
lunchtime.
Yeah. Either Alistair or Gregory, DeepMind, you guys have been at it for a long time, and you are I know a research organization that, obviously then provides technology to Google and in partnership with Google. But what are the research principles that guide building a system like we're building, a system that people can trust?
Yeah, I think, Jeffrey already kind of touched on this, but like having, our kind of overriding concern is to ensure that like the users have an experience that's safe and that gets their task done. And so, we kind of thought carefully about, having this sort of human in the loop supervision in a way to kind of ensure that like we always have that fallback to ensure that the interaction is successful. Our goal primarily is to improve the quality and the accuracy of the responses that the agent gives, and like the data that we get with this setup is absolutely crucial for doing this, because it gives us this view onto what the real world kind of failure modes of our agent are, that we can then use to kind of feedback and improve our model in this sort of self-improving kind of cycle. That's one of the really key considerations here.
I guess I could add, I don't know if it's exclusively a research principle, although it's a human principle. We aren't doing this in a vacuum. We're partnering with the best company in the world, and we're partnering with the community of people who are blind and low vision. And that's, I think, a sensitivity requirement and a thoughtfulness requirement, as it is also a research requirement, because we would also be in the dark otherwise. So I think we're trying to be deliberate and as much as possible here.
I have to break out of my moderator role and share that I got to visit you all at the headquarters in DeepMind, and I hadn't thought about it, but you guys had different stations set up in your lab, including I think it was a bar actually, right, where you're testing out. So I guess it's not only used for soup, but ultimately what I saw there is a lot of real world practical stations where you could just live test how the model's working in addition to everything else we're doing. So we've seen how this is working. Let's close by talking about who it's built for and what comes next. And if there's other things you want to add that you think the audience will benefit from, we don't need to follow just these prompts, but ultimately, I'll start with Everett. What does it really mean to truly build this technology with the community? Like, give us some practical examples, and maybe even elaborate on what you've heard from the community, who, the folks that are in the Trusted Tester program.
Sure. So, first and foremost, trusted testers. So people can sign up for this program in the Aira Explorer app, and it's a simple Google form that they will fill out, and we work with Google DeepMind to activate them. We're activating people on a daily, weekly basis, and getting them more involved in it. I like to quote my friend Anil Lewis with this type of AI technology and kind of where we're going. He says, if a sighted person can see it, and we know that the AI can see it, we should be able to see it. We should be able to get that same information. So if I'm in a National Federation of the Blind convention and I know Ray Kurzweil, leading futurist and Google leader, and I know he's in the room, and I want to find him. I want the AI to be able to tell me Ray Kurzweil's in the room and he's over to the right, that type of thing. And that's where I think this technology is going to go, and that's what I think all of my friends, we talk about on a daily basis. We want access to all of the visual information that's out there because we feel like it's a right that we should have, and so that is something we all talk about on a daily basis, and we're excited about where this technology is going to go and where it's going to lead us in the future.
Well, that's a whole nother session we could have on privacy and facial recognition, and how that intersects with AI. So I think maybe next year at a future event we can talk about that. That's amazing. Jeffrey, where do you see the greatest opportunity for impact coming from this effort, either in the near term or long term?
Yeah, so Ira spent a decade developing our visual interpreting best practices. We're really proud of our capabilities, of our interpreters and the service that they provide. But there's real limits on how we can scale that. It's not as cheap as we would like. And so through this partnership, it's really an opportunity to take all those learnings and make them available through AI to more people and more places, and really, broaden the reach of this. Now, that said, I don't think professional human visual interpreters are going anywhere either. I think, there'll continue to be people that prefer to work with a human. There'll continue for a while, at least, to be cases where a human can provide a better service. And so it's beyond the scope of this session, but we're also really interested in ways that the humans and the AIs can work together to sort of, benefit from the strengths of each. And so I think that's another way in which this work can have an impact on lives in the near term.
Gregory or Alistair, I'll let you both comment here. What do you see in the future? Maybe it's beyond, maybe give us a thought on like what's next overall. I mean, everyone wants to know, like, where is AI going to be in 5 years, but either relative to what we're building here or in general, what do you see coming?
Do you want to take this one, Greg?
I think we could both maybe, we Alistair and I talk a lot, so we'll have similar thoughts. I think we want to get this to be working 100% reliably. That's just a small thing, right? But that one, we want it to really, really work all the time. I think it's exceptional and it is extremely promising. But I think until we can get to very, very high tolerances of reliability, you just can't trust the systems. So we want them to be very good, very accurate. And then there's, I think, also a range of problems that we really can't solve with the current systems. For example, many, I think, of the visual interpreter sessions involve digital technologies, like doing something on a remote desktop and so forth. And these are not accessible to us right now. And I think we've talked about how future work could also, open up those kinds of problem domains.
Yep.
So, that's kind of in the near future what we're thinking about, I'd say. There's probably things that I've also forgotten about. So, and maybe other ideas Alistair has. So, to you.
Yeah, I think one thing that will be really interesting is as we start to get closer and closer to kind of what a human visual interpreter can do. I think we should also be thinking about kind of what we can do to push beyond that, right? And we're already kind of seeing this to some extent. Like our agents have some capabilities which are kind of superhuman. So, for example, Gemini can speak, lots and lots of different languages, and it can access information from the internet instantly with a Google search, and it can use GPS, and there are all sorts of these other kind of capabilities which we can use to even kind of push beyond what's currently possible with a human visual interpreter. So I'm kind of excited about kind of what new things we can unlock, as well as just scaling up the great experience that Aira are able to provide now with human visual interpreters. And I think, like, as we've kind of already touched on, right, like, so this is kind of a long-term project, right? Like, so I'm impressed by like the huge range of different tasks that we see when we kind of look at the human visual interpreter sessions, everything from very simple things like kind of reading labels to, kind of assembling furniture and tasks that can take like more than an hour long. So there's this huge range of different sorts of problems. And in order to be able to kind of tackle all of those different things, we're kind of having to build almost like an artificial, kind of human visual system, and more than that, like a vision and speech system. So it's a very ambitious, kind of when you consider the goal to be to do everything that a human can do. And I think I like the analogy of, kind of building a self-driving car, right? Like, so it took like a kind of a decade to go from, prototypes that were able to work autonomously in some situations to something that was safe enough to be used without human supervision. And I think that the setup that we have now with Aira, where we're able to have like human in the loop to supervise some or all sessions, is a really nice kind of system to be able to kind of push the frontier of like what we're able to do while still ensuring that things are safe and that we're able to solve the tasks that the users need us to do.
Well, that got my heart racing because, yeah, it's like, you're right. It's just such a broad set of tasks, yet there's this need for efficiency and safety. And yeah, it may be one of the most challenging AI missions that have been out there. I don't know. I'm not the expert you are, but it certainly is real life and impacts people, positively, which makes it, exciting and rewarding. All right. So we're going to wrap up here. If I'm going to go down the list, I'm going to go, so get ready. I'm going to go Everett, Jeffrey, Gregory, Alistair. If you had to summarize today in one line, trusted AI for access means, how would you complete that?
I think what that means to me is that Aira and Google DeepMind understand that blind people have capacity and access to visual information. While I know how to do things alternatively without vision, it's still a world that I live in that relies on vision. And so getting access to that visual information through live AI is an amazing principle and something that I think is going to unlock the real capacity of blind people in leveling the playing field for all of us.
I mean, for me, I'd probably go back to something that Alistair said at the beginning, right? This is a project that feels like, we're making a real positive difference in the world. And, I remember watching the demo at the Google I/O conference, earlier this year, and it was one of the proudest moments of my career. And it's great to be a part of this.
It was, I think it's my turn. Trusted AI for access means was the exact tagline.
Yep. Yeah, what does it mean?
I think maybe, you know, that the motivations behind the production of that AI are trusted, and the parties involved, and that it works as intended. Maybe is my summary of that.
That's good. Yeah, Alistair, you get the final word.
I think it means for me like safe, reliable access to visual information whenever and wherever you need it, to as wide a group of people across the world as possible.
Well, that's awesome. You can see I'm smiling because I love this topic, and I love thinking about the future here, and I love the partnership that's been developed. So thank you. I'm going to close. Thank you to our incredible panelists for your insights and your experience you've shared today. The perspectives, I think, remind us that progress and accessibility isn't just about smarter technology. It's about people working together, right, to make it meaningful. And if there's one message to take away, it's this: trusted AI is built through collaboration between people, technology, and purpose, and with the community that it's serving. And at Aira, we see this every day, how partnerships transform access independence for the real world. And a heartfelt thank to Site Tech Global for hosting this important conversation, and for Vista Center for the Blind for their continued leadership in producing this exceptional event. Your work keeps the conversation and the innovation moving forward. I invite everyone to stay connected, to keep learning, and to continue supporting inclusive technology, because it takes all of us to build it right. And I'll close on this thought. Together, we're proving that when AI learns from people, it can help everyone see farther. Thank you very much.